Welcome back to Rogue Demon, where you violate the Geneva Convention daily, using ancient weaponry and your own blood to beat people up. In this game, there's a lot of interesting mechanics that might be confusing to new players, so I'll be explaining them here to help you understand the game. Breathing, dashing, blocking, and more, this will be the video that simplifies these mechanics for you to understand. So let's get started with our first lesson on committing war crimes. First, you've got your basic controls. You can press WASD to walk, double tap W to run, and spacebar to jump. Also, if you want to box someone up, you can press your left mouse button. You get 5 of these punches, with the last one knocking your poor victim back. So basically, if you want to combo, you'll do 4 hits and then use your extender. You can also do a really strong punch by pressing your right mouse button. This punch sucks. It sucks bad. If you miss, you get stuck in an eternity of end lag, and it can also be parried, which I'll get to later. The startup on it is also really long. However, this does break someone's block, so it does have some usage. Both do damage, obviously, though you're mostly just going to use your left mouse button. Now, let's move on to blocking. To block, you press F. This protects you from most attacks, though guard breaks will shatter your block and leave you open to attack. People can also go behind you and ignore it if you don't turn around. Some guard breaks can be parried, which means that if you block at the right time, they get stunned instead. Blocking is really simple, so there's not much to talk about here. Another pretty major mechanic is dashing, which is also simple. You press Q and you can dash forward. If you have your breathing bar filled, which I'll cover later, these dashes become flash steps, which make you go farther. This is just good for moving around, and there's nothing else to really say. The main mechanic of this game is breathing, which you do by holding G. In real life, we either inhale for lungs or use a little device. Or maybe a big device, but we don't really talk about those. Holding G fills up this white bar at the side of your screen, which indicates you're breathing. When you breathe, you get a lot of buffs. You run faster, can double jump on walls, you regenerate health faster, and your dashes get replaced by those from a different anime. It's actually important to keep this bar up, because those buffs you get help out a lot when you fight. However, if you hold it for too long and reach the top, a really dumb mechanic called breath stun happens, where it gets reset and you can't breathe. Now, I'd like to remind you to also remember to breathe in real life, because that also gives you the buff of being alive. However, if you really do want to be good at this game, you gotta do it in both the real world and the virtual one. For a small tip on how to keep it up, I recommend that you hold G whenever you're not directly fighting someone, and then use that bar to rush in and start your attack. You can also hold G when you're doing your M1 combo to charge up some breath. Definitely a mechanic you need to remember though. Now, let's look at this bar at the bottom of your screen. That's your health bar. If you run out of health, you get knocked down. In this knocked state, people can pick you up or execute you. However, if you do manage to get someone else down, then you can do that to them. To pick someone up, you press V, and to execute someone, you press B. If you have someone carried, you can hold V to throw them, or just press it to drop them down gently. That's it for your basic combat. Now, for our final basic mechanic, let's talk about these, which are rogue coins. You get these by putting in random codes, completing daily tasks, or doing bounty hunting quests that are found at this NPC. If you're wondering what these do, it's simple. You can go up to a blacksmith NPC, located across the map, and it'll give you a list of options on what you can use them for. You can use them to color your sword, get cool execution effects, and more. Rogue coins really just exist for cosmetics and have no impact on gameplay. Alright, now let's go over how movesets are structured. You have 4 moves in total, and usually, one is the ultimate. These moves all have different purposes and do different things. To use them, you equip it by pressing the corresponding number, and then click it to make it do its thing. There's also a setting you can toggle, which makes it just activate by pressing the number, but that's dumb. Don't do that. There's a ton of movesets right now, and they all have their different abilities. For example, Thunder Breathing has a dash that makes you damage and stun anyone in front of you, while also teleporting you forward. All these movesets are genuinely pretty good, with a few that are really strong or really weak. However, it's mostly just up to you as to what you want to use. I do have some videos covering some of the movesets, albeit a bit outdated ones, so if you want to learn more, check them out. Finally, let's discuss Ranked. In the main menu, after you get 50 executions, you can go to Ranked, which is a place where you can battle it out in 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, or 4v4s. People really only care about the first 2 game modes. When you win matches, you get ELO, and if you lose them, you lose ELO. ELO marks your spot on the ranked leaderboard, and that's all it does. Nothing else. Ranked is simple, and if you're new, you shouldn't worry about it. Now, that's really all there is to cover for a basic beginner's guide to Rogue Demon. There are other advanced things that are important to know, but that's for a later video. If you found this guide helpful, consider liking and subscribing. If not, then do your own thing, I guess. As always, I'm New Eternally, and I'll see you next time in another video. Bye.